Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to the Swish. We've been away for a while, the off season, and now we're exactly a week and a half away from the NBA season kickoff, the 2022-2023 season. So I wanted to bring back the Swish. We have exciting guests coming up lined up. We have exciting content coming up on our Instagram pages and Facebook pages. And I want to welcome my new Rafael Nieto is still going to be around when he's available. But I want to welcome my new co-host, my buddy from Boston, and now he's living in Dallas, Texas. My good friend from high school. He's been a longtime Spurs fan, and he is now in Dallas, Texas, and he has a new company also that we want to talk a little bit about. Welcome, Geoffrey Daves. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me again. I don't know if I'm official co-host, but maybe, a little substitute until Rafa gets back. But
I mean,
thanks for having me,
at the rate you're going, yes, I think you
man.
get to
I
stay
just
you're
love talking
going to be
basketball,
out
and
for
I
a while. Yeah,
appreciate
man.
you.
We just want to talk basketball. That's it. The
Yeah,
season's
that's it,
the
man.
season's around the corner. There's a lot of shit to talk about. Rafa, your seat's always here, but Jeffrey, you're here with me today, man. So let's get into
Thanks for
it.
having me. Let's do it, dude.
I want to ask you first.
Yeah.
I want to ask you first. How has the move been from Boston to Dallas? How long ago was this? You've been up there a couple months now, right?
Yeah, man. I moved down here to finish up some fellowship training. I'm doing a pediatric GI fellowship training down here at UT Southwestern. My wife and I moved down here like late June. We drove from Boston to Dallas. I don't recommend it. It was a long trip, and probably never do it again. Hopefully, I don't
How,
have to.
how long did that drive?
So we broke it up. We had some time, but we did about 3 to 4 days of just 8 hour drives and stopping because we I had to drive a U-Haul and she drove our car. It was a long stretch, man. Let me tell you.
You weren't even in the same car.
No, dude, it was the most affordable route, and it was we had some time, so we figured we'd just do it, but never again, dude. I don't recommend that drive.
Were there constant stops? Like, hey, let's just stop, stretch our legs, get something to
Yeah,
eat.
that and like trying, thankfully my wife, she's a planner, so she like prepped like sandwiches and stuff like that. So when we stopped to gas up, we had like pretty decent food. So that wasn't bad. But just like the communication, like, hey, I'm gonna pull off, or hey, I'm gonna do this. And I'm in a U-Haul that's just loud and has the roll windows and like the radio's like two stations. It was a trip.
It was hectic. Nah, man.
Yeah.
Well, glad you're back in Texas. Glad you're
Yeah, man.
back being a Spurs fan after you were a Celtics fan last year. Ironically against the Heat in the Eastern Conference
Yeah.
Finals. So thanks for that. But now that you're back in Dallas, what are you doing now in Dallas? And I want to talk to you. I saw that you uploaded Morning Rounds Coffee. So let's talk about
Yeah.
those two things. What are you doing in Dallas now and Morning Rounds Coffee before we get into our NBA talk?
Yeah, man, in Dallas, just starting my training, and I'm gonna hopefully um, continue with the training here for the next couple of years. And it's just basically focusing on the GI tract in pediatrics. So we do a lot of like endoscopies and colonoscopies in kids and stuff. So a little bit more specific training. But I think the more exciting thing for me, at least the newer thing for me, is this morning rounds coffee, and I have a little mug here to show you guys. And so
Nice.
morning rounds coffee was developed by three of my friends, and they asked me to join in. And this company, it's made by healthcare workers for healthcare workers. And so our goal is to try to be in like every clinic, every hospital in the country. And the catch is that we give back 25% of all our profits to certain organizations, healthcare organizations, and we also can tailor your donation. So if a hospital wants to buy our coffee and they want their donation, their 25% to go to a specific organization, we can tailor that to that, and people love that, man. And we just, after COVID and stuff, we wanted to kind of help each other out, and that's what we're doing.
So Morning Rounds Coffee has been around for a while, and you now jumped with them. You know, partnered up with them. Where
I
is it
did.
based out of? Is it originally based out of Dallas?
So um, it's been evolving. We're kind of based out of Texas, We get our coffee beans from South America, and they're roasted in Temecula, California. But the eventual goal, is to get everything in Texas, and let it be a Texas-based company.
Nice. Where can they find you?
morningroundscoffee.com. We also have an Instagram. And it's really not only just for healthcare workers and clinics. If even if you want to support one of your healthcare workers, we have funny mugs. We have our coffee's all medically themed. So it's fun, dude. It's a fun little coffee, and it's really good coffee. It's a premium roast. It's delicious. I'll send you some.
Yeah, are you gonna have some down here in Laredo soon, or?
Yeah. We're talking to some clinics down there. We have some offices that are in the works of trying to become supporters of Morning Rounds Coffee, and hopefully they pull through, and we'll get down there. We already have Dr. Armando Gonzalez already is subscribing to our coffee, and he's kind of the first guy to jump on the bandwagon. He's all about it.
That's good, man. That's good. Congrats, dude. Best of luck with that. And
Thanks,
hopefully we'll see it down here in Laredo soon. And guys, check out their Instagram, Morning Rounds Coffee altogether.
Yeah, Morning Rounds Coffee. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Check out their Instagram and their webpage as well. So now that you're back in Texas, now in Dallas, Texas, you planning on catching any Mavericks games?
That's the plan, man. I haven't seen Luka yet, so I'd love to see him play. I probably won't be rooting for the Mavs.
Are you gonna take our buddy Rennie to some games or what?
Dude,
Rennie
and I are gonna jump on this NBA game. I was just visiting with him and his wife the other day, and Rennie and his salsa are above average. They're fantastic. So I'm hoping we can catch some games with him. You should come up.
Yeah, for sure. Soon, the end of the year is coming around, but the start of the season is a week and a half away. So yeah, man, I want to definitely go up, maybe catch a Mavericks game also. Wouldn't be bad. So let's shift. Let's shift into gear talk basketball. I want to start off with preseason rankings because this is something that's always pissed me off. Last week or about 2 weeks ago, the Score just came up with their preseason rankings. I'm a big fan of the Score. I catch up on other stuff. It's a good web page, good Instagram, good social media content. And right off the bat, them along with maybe two or other pages had the Milwaukee Bucks as a number one team, which I get it. Obviously, they didn't make any noise last year, but they were limited with Chris Middleton out with an injury against the Boston Celtics. But they're still a great team. But in any of these preseason rankings, whether it's with a team that made a lot of moves, the 76ers that added PJ Tucker, that enforced their front court, that they have Maxey, that they added, they still have Harden. I think their stock is going up. I mean, I know that they're definitely a team to watch. And maybe you could mess around with the mid to lower rankings, but respect to the champions and respect to the NBA Finals opponent, they have to be in the top two. That's just my way of thinking. Regardless if they maybe traded their number one player, which never happens, or maybe they had some little minor tweaks. So right now, let's talk about the NBA preseason power rankings. The first two that I just got off right now are off of ESPN and off of The Athletic. And the good thing is that these two actually remained true to what they're supposed to do. So they have the Golden State Warriors as number one, both ESPN and The Athletic. And then they have the Boston Celtics as number two. So just because you just came back to Texas, you were in Boston earlier in the year. What do you think about the major additions of Malcolm Brogdon and Danilo Gallinari for the Celtics? They were not one win away, but they were in the NBA Finals. They were 2 wins away. And what do you think? Did this team get better? And this is also considering all the drama surrounding head coach Ime.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think I don't know if those players are going to make a huge difference. I agree.
I don't think so either. Oh, they also have Blake Griffin.
Oh yeah, they just signed Blake. My boy Blake.
Yeah, your twin.
I don't know. I wish, dude. I wish I could play like him. Yeah, I don't think they're going to make that big of a difference. I think the bigger issue is the kind of drama in the coaching situation. It's unfortunate what happened. We don't know all the details, but he did such a great job as a coach, and really, I think the players kind of finally gathered around him and stuff. So I don't really know. And then one of their assistant coaches, I think his name was Will Hardy, who was from San Antonio, who was like, yeah, he was supposed to be like the next guy in line, but he took a job, I think, with the Jazz. And so now we're down to the next coach, who I can't even remember his name right now. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know if the players are going to make a big difference. I mean, Tatum and Brown obviously are two studs. Marcus Smart's still there.
Defending player of the year, Marcus Smart, which I don't think he deserved it, but that's fine.
Hater.
So I think that's solid ranking for them. You have the Warriors.
I agree.
Regardless of how the opening month comes out, I think that's solid to have them at the top tiers of their respective conference. The Bucks obviously are right there below. They have the Phoenix Suns as number 3 and the Bucks as number 4. Makes sense, but I also think that the Mavericks made some moves. The Heat lost PJ Tucker, but it's not like we lost Bam or Jimmy or none of the top dogs. So PJ Tucker was good defensively, but that shouldn't make them diminish their accomplishments, what they did, and make them go all the way down. Now, in the score ranking that I saw that we talked about right now, they were at 12. In these rankings, they have them as 7. They have Miami Heat as 7. They have Dallas Mavericks as number 8. And over here on the Athletic, they have, let's see here, they have the Grizzlies 6, 76ers 7. Everyone's high on the 76ers this year. I don't get it. They have Mavericks 8, and they have Miami Heat. They have the Hawks on top of the Miami Heat. Feel disrespected, man. Going on
well,
here.
I mean, they got DeJounte Murray now, and I'm not a big fan of oh my God, he's in what's his name, Iceman or whatever they call him. What's his name? Trae Young. I don't know. We'll see what they do. I think Miami should be ranked better than the Heat.
I overreacted. So ESPN pre-rankings has Miami Heat at 7. They have Dallas Mavericks as 8, and the Athletic has Miami Heat as number 5 actually, and they have the Dallas Mavericks as number 8. So the Dallas Mavericks remain there. They got Christian Wood. They have Jaden Hardy off the draft, which is really good. He's actually having a pretty good preseason, and JaVale McGee as a free agent. They lost Brunson, but come on, let's just
Brunson.
Let's just agree to this.
Yeah, I don't think that's good.
Highly overpaid for his position, and the only team that seems likely that they would have done that is the New York Knicks. But you know what? That's fine. That's neither here nor there. Let's talk about the top teams in both conferences real quick. Who do you like out of the East? Besides, obviously, the big ones, it's Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. Who do you think out of the East, which is a stronger conference now? They made. Do you think the Atlanta Hawks are going to make some noise? Do you think the Brooklyn Nets, which are subject of our next topic coming up, do you think they're going to do something with Ben Simmons, or 76ers are the team that's going to make that jump?
I think on the East side, I mean, obviously the Celtics. I think the Cavs and the Nets are going to be. I think, man.
You're putting the Nets.
What was that?
You're pretty high on the Nets still.
I mean, how can you not be? I mean, Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons. Like, I don't. Ben Simmons. I know he's had a rough time, man, but he's a beast. He's big. He can play defense. He can move the ball. Like, they don't need him to score that many points, right? They don't need him to be the man. So I don't know, man. And then Joe Harris, like, I think the Nets are. I think the Nets are going to be scary. Like, they're one of the ones that I guess could go either way. But I think the Nets and now even Cleveland with Donovan Mitchell.
Let's hold off on those two teams because they're actually two of our 4 topics today. We'll finish off with those 2 teams. What do you think what do you think about the 76ers? I think Miami Heat's still going to be up there. I think they're going to be consistent because they play together. Jimmy Butler's a good leader. Bam's a little bit better. He's been shooting three now. Their system is rolling good. They didn't make any major offseason moves. But what do you think about the 76ers, and what do you think about the Atlanta Hawks? Those are two teams that I'm curious to see what they're going to do in the East.
Yeah, I think the 76ers have a better upside. I think their team overall is a better team. I think they're, James Harden, watch out. James Harden.
He lost a lot of weight. He's saying that he was committed to getting in the best shape, that according to him, I don't know the direct quote, but I saw it on Bill Simmons. I heard it, on Bill Simmons' podcast. His quote was that he's in his MVP shape weight. So I don't know what to think about that. I mean, James Harden, he could turn it on at any given moment.
He can turn it on, man. Yeah. The question is, does he still have his first step? Does he still have that first step that was such a killer a couple years ago? And if that's not the case, like, did he evolve? Did his game evolve to where he could be just as elite of a scorer? And I think so. I mean, he's so versatile. And then with Embiid and, like you said, PJ Tucker, I think PJ Tucker was a huge loss to Miami. I know he's not like a massive scorer, but dude, he knocks down that corner three. He's a hustle machine. He locks people up. He gets in their face. Like, teams need that, man. And who's going to do that for Miami now?
He's a bigger man's Patrick Beverly. In terms of hustle, in terms of defense, in terms of just getting in your head, just being that annoying defender that you're gonna have to get around. Obviously, Beverly doesn't have that corner three. The reason I don't think that was a tough loss on Miami is because he molded Caleb Martin, which is one of the Martin brothers from Charlotte and from Miami, and I think Martin will be just fine. It won't be the same. How can I say? It won't be the same energy matched as PJ Tucker, but I think we'll be fine. I think it'll just help us develop more of our young guys.
Well, I mean, PJ's also a veteran. That also helps in the locker room.
Yeah, that is true. And look, honestly, I'm not even a huge Harden fan or Embiid fan, but I really like these 76ers. I mean, you have Tyrese Maxey, he's a beast. He's young. He's quick. He's really, really fast. That guy, he could probably go like net to net in a matter of like 5-6 seconds. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah,
he's good. And they still have Matisse Thybulle, the small forward. He's good defensively. They got Harrell, which no one wanted him. They still have Tobias Harris and now PJ Tucker. I think they lost Danny Green, which is a loss because of his 3-point. But you still have a lot of players that surround the team.
Where did he go, by the way? Where did Danny Green go?
Danny Green's with the Memphis Grizzlies now, believe it or not. It's kind of weird. I never thought that would have happened, but I mean, they made I think it was in the middle of the summer that they made that trade. So what do you think about the Atlanta Hawks? Shifting gears around to move on here to this topic.
Man, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Hawks.
Let's just not touch that. Dejounte Murray, Spurs.
I mean, that's another. I mean, even before Dejounte Murray got shipped out of San Antonio to the Hawks, I just was never a big fan of the Hawks. I don't ever see them play that much. It's just, Trae Young has been killing it, but I don't know. It's not a huge. They're whatever to me. They're like the team. Yeah.
I'll give you one thing. Their big three is scary. Trae Young is good. He's that guy that you hate playing up against because he's I don't want to say a poor man Steph Curry because that's kind of an insult, but he's a lower version of it in terms of his quickness, his hustle, and his 3-point shooting. But you still don't want to play against him. And now that he's paired up with DeJounte Murray, he's able to free up a little bit more, DeJounte as well. And with John Collins is good. Miami was talking about him. There were rumors that they wanted to trade for him. I really wanted John Collins. It didn't happen. So now that big three, paired with Clint Capella, which is still he's a veteran, but he's still solid. I think maybe the Atlanta Hawks could squeeze into 6th through 8th, and if anything,
Yeah,
make 5. That would
yeah,
be
and
good.
but they have no defense either. You know, like their defense was horrible last year.
And they probably weren't going to make a big splash considering their first year. But I think that's a team to watch. That's a team to watch. All in all, I think the preseason rankings were fair. On the other side of the West, Phoenix is still up there. There's a lot of with Andre Ayton that he was going to go with the Pacers and it's matched him. So there's a lot of people that I've talked to. There's a lot of fans that like are kind of letting the sun slip a little bit. Moreover, because the Clippers got John Wall, they have Paul George healthy, they have Kawhi healthy, they still have Jackson. That's a pretty scary team. What do you think? Let me give you 2 teams in the West, and you tell me what you think. What do you think of the Clippers right off the bat, and what do you think of the Timberwolves?
Well, I didn't think you were gonna go with Timberwolves, but so Clippers, I think are gonna be scary, man. I think they have a chance to surprise everybody. I mean, Kawhi Leonard alone is a
Yeah.
beast. PG-13, that guy gets buckets. And
Mhm.
John Wall, like he's also extremely fast, extremely big. As long as they can gel together, I think they're going to be scary. The Timberwolves, they got Rudy Gobert, right, this offseason.
They
So
made a ridiculous trade to get Gobert, which involved a lot of picks, but they got him, and
yeah,
that kind of messed around with the whole dynamic of Kevin Durant's trade talk or
yeah,
trade demands because the Nets wanted to go high. They said if Rudy Gobert could get what he got, the amount of picks, I think it was like 5 picks and like
yeah.
3 or 4 players. I don't have the details in front of me, but it was something ridiculous. If that could happen, then Durant deserves more. I know Miami made an offer. They didn't like it, which I thought wasn't bad, but I get it. I know Jazz made an offer, and I know I forgot what other team made an offer. There were a bunch of teams that made offers. So now with Gobert and Carl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell, he slipped up a bit this year, but
He's solid
he's
though.
still a solid
Solid.
role. He's
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
And
Solid.
Anthony Edwards, man, I like that guy. I really really like him as a player. I think he's solid. I mean, just look at the matchup between them and the Grizzlies.
Oh man,
Like he's
Anthony
good.
Edwards. Oh, Anthony Edwards is, I think, the if he's not already a star, the next big star. Like he's the next wave of like, it's my league. You know, he's explosive. He's got like that swagger in him. He's fun to watch. You know, him and John Moran are gonna go at it for several years, man. Um,
So
so we'll,
I think
yeah.
the West rankings. I think the West rankings were pretty fair, but you probably take out Utah Jazz out of the mix, obviously, because they made the playoffs last year. You take them out,
Dude,
and
they
I
got
think, in my
blown
opinion,
up.
kind of yeah,
They got
exactly.
blown up, dude.
I don't even know.
Blown up.
I don't know who's going to be their starting point guard. I don't know who their star players. That's just going to be a mess.
Julio
So the
Vasquez is
Jazz
coming back.
slip, and I thought, yeah, and I think the Suns slip just, and I think the Clippers make their mark back up. I think the Lakers and the Timberwolves are going to be right there,
The Lakers?
not on the top. Yeah, mid
Oh,
bottom,
oh, nah.
mid to bottom, not on the top. On top, you're still going to have your Warriors. You're going to have your Nuggets. You're still going to have your Mavericks, obviously, and you're still going to have your Clippers. I don't know why I feel those 4 teams in the top West seems like a good gamble. Like they're going to be up there. But you're in the bottom. I think the Timberwolves and Lakers are gonna be there. And this is me saying that the Clippers that they didn't even make it, that they're gonna be in the top.
Yeah, I
Wait, did
agree
the
with you. I agree with you. I don't think the Lakers are gonna. I don't even think the Lakers are gonna make the playoffs. To be honest, with you. Maybe like
no,
that last squeezing spot. If I mean, sure, Anthony Davis is coming back. LeBron 20th season. You know, he's the king. I get it, but like, first of all, Anthony Davis needs to stay healthy. Which Pobrecito, the guy always gets
it's
hurt.
big. It's a big ask of him. That
Yeah.
I get that. It's really you never know. All right, moving on. preseason rankings out of the way. They're fair. I like that these two didn't disrespect Miami or Mavericks because come on, those two teams they were in the conference finals, so you can't disrespect them. But you don't have to put them 3 or 4, but don't disrespect them and put them out of the top 10. Which the two websites that we checked, the Athletic and ESPN, didn't do that. So I'm fine there. The rest are fine. Let's talk next about. Let's just skip the Lakers and Westbrook talk. We'll leave that for another day because I want to talk about the two teams that intrigue me the most on the East. Especially the one team that intrigues me the most is how the Cavs are going to do. But before we get to the Cavs, you still think KD, Kyrie are going to turn it around? They got swept, and they were what were they? The 8th seed, they were the 7th seed. Actually, they were the 7th seed. They played against Boston, got swept, and the only close game was the first game with Jason Tatum's buzzer beater, that catch, twist, and just easy layup. That was great. I remember watching that game. That was amazing. So this is my take on it. This is why I think KD, KD's going to step it up. The pattern I'm seeing with KD is that he's not like Anthony Davis, but he does get injured. He does get injured. They're minor injuries. You start off the season, they're going to hold them out a couple of games, whatnot. But he does get injured. Kyrie, we need 100%. Like they need, not we. I don't even like the Nets, but they need 100%. And now with COVID over, with there's restrictions over, I think only in Toronto it's going to be a restriction. But he should be back. But the thing is, with both of them demanding trades, wanting out, that they had some issues, do you think they're just going to be like, okay, let's move on? That's it?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, let's sweep that under the rug. Let's throw it out the window. Let's go win a championship, right? I think that so initially,
They do have a solid team surrounding them. Patty Mills. They lost Goran Dragic, but they have Patty Mills. They have
Dragic. Because like 90.
Boy, the Dragon.
No, he's great. He's great.
They have TJ Warren. Remember TJ Warren in the bubble where the Pacers went off? And that was being an option. He's actually now a role player and like probably like the 5th or 6th option on that team. So that's good for them. What do you think they're getting out of Ben Simmons?
I hope they get Ben Simmons like defensive player, great point guard. Like before he had kind of that where he didn't take the shot and then he like spiraled into this kind of dark place. I don't know, maybe something's going on in his life, but I think, dude, I think overall he's a really good player. I think he kind of just needs to get back in the game and get back in the mindset, just think basketball and just go out and play and have fun. He's like, dude, he can get down the court. No one stays in front of him. His defense is fantastic. I don't know, man. I've always liked Ben Simmons. This last year he kind of came off like a little, soft maybe and stuff like that, and whatever, man. To each their own. But if I was Ben Simmons, I'd be like, all right, man, it's time to grind. We need to like not only for your team but for yourself.
I saw a preseason game, not all of it, obviously, but I saw a couple minutes. He looked good. Not shooting wise. I think he only had like 4 or 6 points, and he tried a fadeaway jumper a la Kobe, and it was off. But his defense was okay, not great, but okay, and his passing was pretty good. Like he was aware, and I saw a good play between him and Kyrie that kind of like gave a little bit of optimism, but it looked good.
Yeah.
So then 3, the big. What do you think they'll crack in the East? Probably top 4. That could be good. Maybe top
Nets?
5. Yeah.
I'm gonna say top 3.
You're gonna have Boston. You're gonna have Philadelphia. You're gonna have Bucks. Those are for sure top 3. I'm not even counting Miami in the top 3. Miami will be 4 or 5, depending on how they continue the season, or how they start the season. But they'll be 4 and 5. So I think the Nets would be the other team, either Miami 4, Nets 5, or the other way around.
I think Nets will be 3.
Nets will be 3. Okay.
I think so.
Who are you taking off? Who are you
I
taking
know.
off?
I knew that question was coming, and I was trying to figure out who I was going to take off. I think if I had to take somebody off,
You would probably take out 76ers. Leave Celtics
Yeah.
still up there. Maybe
Yeah.
Celtics. 76ers.
Yeah, I think I would take 76ers out. The only reason that the Celtics may drop is because the whole coaching situation and like maybe the culture's off. But I think maybe the 76ers.
Okay.
4.
All right. Sounds good. All right. What about Donovan Mitchell with the Cleveland Cavaliers?
The spider. The spider.
I love that. I love that. I really wanted Miami. I didn't want Miami to push hard for Kevin Durant because that means giving up a lot of players, a lot of picks, just a massive package, which Miami already did that with LeBron and they kind of did that with Jimmy Butler. So I like the team that Miami has right now. I like the team, stay intact, but Donovan Mitchell was probably not an easier get, but they wouldn't have had to like trade everyone on their roster besides Jimmy and Bam. Hero would have obviously been involved, but it didn't happen. But I like that he didn't go to New York because he wasn't going to do anything in New York. New York, they still don't have that team yet, even with Randall and RJ. But Cavs, man, Cavs have a good team. They made the what do you call it?
The play-in.
They made the play-in. They went up against the Nets. Nets won.
Almost beat them.
Almost beat them. Then Hawks beat the Cavs for the last spot. I remember that. Maybe I'm blanking. I just know that the Cavs didn't make it, but they were close to it. They were a game away from it.
Yeah.
And now you add Donovan Mitchell to a backcourt of him and Darius Garland, which is fast, good basketball IQ. They're going to pick their spots nice. They don't have to be ball dominant, ball control the whole time. And then you have 3 amazing bigs in Kevin Love. You still can't discredit Kevin Love. I don't know if he's still going to be a starter because he was a 6th man this year, but it could be an expectations. And the best 2 big men in the league, not even in the East, in the league, man. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. Those 2. Yesterday, they had a preseason game. They lost by 3 or 4. And then when I was checking the stats, I saw that they didn't even have Mobley playing. And it was just everyone. It's preseason, so, there's a lot of teams that play. I mean, not a lot of teams. A lot of players that play 15, 17 minutes. So that's roughly what it was. But they didn't have Mobley. And they moved the ball well. They moved the ball well. They picked their spots well. They communicated well. And Donovan Mitchell had a crazy good pass to Jared Allen in the post. I'm liking this team. I like the Cavs more than the Hawks. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I agree. I heard LeBron's going to come back to Cleveland because now Cleveland has a lot of upside.
But I mean, it all depends where LeBron used to go. But hey, I wouldn't hate it. All right. So what do you think? What do you think, Cavs? What do you see them as in the East? Obviously, this is a way too early prediction, way too early to talk about it, but it's just for fun, for the swish.
I think for the swish, I think it's going to be middle of the pack, like 6, 5. Like you said, dude, they have a lot of upside. If they can click quickly and just run and gun with all their young talent.
So you think they can actually?
You cut out, man.
We're having a little bit of connection issues, but I think it seems it's already fixed itself. Sorry about that. So that seems like a legit ranking, probably 5 or 6.
I think so. What do you think?
I like that. I actually think 6, but very dangerous. Like a lot of teams are gonna hate playing against them. I'm checking yesterday's game. They lost by 1 of the 76ers with Mobley, and they all played probably like 15, 20 minutes. But 76ers had all their starters out there. They didn't rest anyone. Cavs rested Mobley. So that looks good. That bodes very, very well, honestly. Well, that's it. Geoffrey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Anything else you wanna talk about before we go and get on with our? We're recording Thursday, October 6th. So this will probably be out Friday, October 7th. But anything else you wanna include, man?
No, man. Thanks again for having me. Thanks for letting me give a shout out for Morning Rounds Coffee. I was joking with Julio the other day that if I the next time I get on the Swish, that you should make a poll for the best Saynog b-ball class. What year that would be, so I could see all the comments on the.
Oh shit!
So
I'm
we're
gonna
just
do
making
that.
fun
I'm
of.
gonna do that because lately we've been playing. Shout out
Yeah,
to the Monday the
yeah,
Monday
dude.
Basketball Club.
That's what we were
I
talking
was invited
about. He
this.
was telling.
Um, there's a lot of classes, a lot of generations, Saynog generations,
Yeah,
and
man. He was
wow.
telling me all about it, and we were
So
talking about it. So it was fun to hear that
you should come
everyone's
down,
starting to play them.
play a game with us, man. Whenever you can.
Yeah, the '05 class, baby.
I think there's better ones, better generation, but the '05 could be up there.
Well, place the poll, baby.
All
Big
right,
shot,
man.
Rob.
Jeffrey, thank you. I, of course, you can't discredit him, man. So,
Yeah.
Jeff, thank you for coming on, man. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and see you next week.
Thanks for
Thanks,
having me, man.
bro.
Yep.